Hey guys, I'm just here to do a quick flick through of the When My Soul Whispered Oracle deck. This is the US Games version, not the self-published. It's by Melissa Selvaggio, and the artwork's by Jess O'Connor. I like that they've got her name on the front and foremost there. As I say, this is the US Games edition of this. Now this deck is actually smaller than that. I don't know why. I thought it was going to be a fair bit bigger than this, but it's actually little pocket size, I would say, but it's lovely. So the box comes in a two-piece sturdy box. It's got this orange insert on the inside on both sides, if I remember. Yep, on both sides there. And in the box we get the little guidebook. I say little, it's actually really chunky, but the pages are thick in this book. The pages are actually really thick. Feels like a few pages stuck together, but it's not. So you get the guidebook, which is actually a really good book, little book. The deck itself, as I say, is small, so it would be pocket, I'd say it was pocket size. It comes with matte gold gilt edges. It's got this honeycomb, like burnt orange, orange and yellow and cream honeycomb. Now the fronts of them, I thought for some reason the fronts of these were bright white, and they're not. It's like an off-white creamy colour, which actually is a lot nicer. Probably a lot nicer. I'm assuming it's a lot nicer than what I was expecting anyway, because it looks pretty. However, the pictures are not quite as bright as what I thought they were. They look a lot brighter when I'm looking at them on the camera now. They look a lot brighter on the camera than what they do to my natural eyes. So there's that. I've not got these in order. They do go in alphabetical order. I've messed about with them, and I just didn't want to sit there trying to figure out which ones go where, and I couldn't be bothered flicking through the whole book to get them into the exact order. Speaking of the book, in this little book, we've got the acknowledgements at the front of who it's for, the journey. Then we have the introduction. So this is telling, I think this might be introducing herself and how it came to be, how the deck came to be and where the ideas came from. So what you get in the book is you get like the keyword, the quote, meaning, the light side, the shadow side, so it is reversible, her sacred words on the card, or it's like an affirmation, so it's just sacred words that she's wrote down, which you can say out. You get the chakra association, raison d'etre, from the French, meaning, purpose, or reason for being. This entry provides a brief explanation of the choice of illustration for each card to provide you with an understanding of the card's role in the deck. So when you get right into it, you can get into the use of colour with the chakras, and how each card possibly ties into certain chakras, and there are actually chakra cards in here, or ones that are specifically associated with chakras. So there is that in there. Ooh. So there she does go on to about the chakras. We get a few spreads, the honeycomb spread, past, present and future, aware, hidden advice. And then we get straight into the cards then. So as she says, you get the keywords, you get like a little quote, you get a write-up about the card. You get the light side, so in the upright, you get the shadow, which would be the reversed. My sacred word, so this is like a mantra or a quote that you can say to yourself. Chakra association, the raison d'etre. I'm sure I'm butchering that. So the goldfish, it's like here for the first one, the goldfish is often seen as a symbol of abundance with its iridescent gold hues. It spends much time gliding gracefully through the water without worrying about whether the next goldfish it encounters shines more brightly. The goldfish serves as a reminder to be happy with your own lot in life without comparing yourself to others, to those around you. So you do actually get a little picture of what is actually on the card. I think they're really well done. The writings, like the full writings, I'll probably read one out at the end. But the full writings for them are actually very good. But that said, if you're not one for jumping back into, and you like to go your own way with decks, then this actually reads very well. I think you get very good intuitive hits off the images on the card. So I'm going to go through them. As I say, they're not in any order, but just to go through, just so you get an idea of the images. Let's zoom in a little bit. So hard to get this straight in this stand. I think that's as good as I'm going to get. So the first card we have is, well, the first one out is Now. And here we have the peacock. It's a male peacock, but this is about being present in the moment, being ready to jump into things, just being present in the here and now, and doing things in the here and now instead of putting things off and waiting for things, being ready to jump into it, or at least that's how I read it. I'm not gonna give you my rundown of each card, but so we have Forgive here, we have this wreath in a heart shape, which pulls your mind to many different things when we think of forgiveness or forgiving people, attaching it to emotions, but also like being able to forgive for, especially people that are no longer here anymore. It made me think of when I looked at this card, it made me think of being able to forgive for things that are like kind of, that are gone. And even being able to forgive yourself, you know, just the situations and things that you've got into. So you've got Intuition. So this is one of the chakra cards. We've got Desire, which is this moth, and it gives you, you know, straight away you jump into the idea of a moth to the flame, being drawn into something with desire in that way. Acceptance. Advocate. I think these are little forget-me-nots, they look like. So for me, this is like speaking up and finding a voice. You know, not being kind of hushed down into a corner, having your say, making sure that you're speaking up for yourself. That's the kind of ideas that I get from that. Got Unconditional. With a swan, and when you think of swans like mate for life, don't they? They kind of pair up and then they kind of stick together. So it's about kind of having a bond or not attaching conditions to things that you bond to in life, or people that you bond to in life, perhaps. Confidence with a sunflower. Not being afraid to stand out, stand up. I've got Love, which is another chakra card. I'm assuming it's associated with the heart chakra. I'm not very good with the chakras. That's one thing I've got to learn. I've been learning them, but then I've started learning them in a way where I'm not actually learning them in association with the colours, which is a bit foolish, really. So that's my next step on that one. So we've got Empathy. Vibration. Emotion. journey. This card makes you think of like cycles and, you know, going over things, or, you know, never end, you know, things continuing on. Even after things finish, they continue going. So it's about like kind of when one cycle's kind of closing out, you're always stepping into something new. There's always an opportunity to find a new journey or a new path in something. Just because something seems to come to an end doesn't mean that everything comes to an end. That's kind of where I went with that one. Boundaries with the hummingbird. And when you think of hummingbirds, they are very, very territorial, and they will protect what's theirs. Got wisdom with the owl. Microcosm. This is another chakra card. This is the idea of kind of micromanaging, nitpicking, getting too close to something, not seeing the bigger picture. We have joy with the sun, which is always about, well, not always, but it can be about abundance. Everything that comes with it. We usually find joy where we find abundance, don't we? Decisions with a compass. Figuring out what path you want to take. Divinity. Actually has a very nice meaning in this card. This card's about being of the divine and being enough, knowing that you're enough, like being able to believe that you're enough, and knowing, just having that know that you are enough and just as you are, and you don't have to be something extra to be considered enough. A really nice card. Another chakra card, we have passion. Expectation. The lioness. About being ready to strike. Communication with the elephant. Lion with strength. The goldfish with abundance. Balance with the worker bee. Insight with the peacock feather. Belong, I think that's a sparrow, is it? I think it's a sparrow. I'm sure sparrows kind of, they brood and they kind of hang about in little gangs, don't they? That's why you often see about 10,000 of them at your bird feeder sitting in the trees watching out for each other. About finding your crew, isn't it? Understanding. I'm not sure what kind of flower that is. Clarity with the moon. Transformation with the butterfly. Grounded with, I think it's a dragon. Limitless with the unicorn. Healing with the rose. Kindness with the polar bear. Receptivity with the, I think it's a mantis, is it? Praying mantis, is it? Don't they do things by like kind of picking up vibrations and dealing in energy, so that may be like kind of being aware of what's going on around you. Another chakra card, we have manifest. Another chakra with macrocosm, and this is about stepping back, not being so close to something, taking a break, taking a step back and looking at something from the bigger picture. Zooming out. So we have listen. With the shell here, I mean, I almost get from this card, this is like kind of listen to your intuition, but also listen to the signs and synchronicities of the universe and pick up on things that are going on around you when spirit's speaking to you. That's the kind of feeling I get from you. Could be something completely different in the guidebook though. I've not read through them all, I've just had a nosy at a couple of them. I've got transcend, which means rise above. Escape, kind of move beyond. Raise your vibrations. I've got motivation with the star. I've got connected with the tree. This makes me think of like the tree that's rooted, but also reaching up to the heavens, reaching up to the cosmos. So being connected with heaven and earth. Got another chakra card, which is truth. Determination with the fox. I actually like that for the fox, because usually with the fox you get crafty and all that, but determination kind of is still the same thing, isn't it? It's like, because, you know, sometimes to get what you want, you have to kind of go about it in ways that may seem a bit crafty or a bit like kind of tactical, shall we say. So it's just being able to stick through with something, putting your effort into it and sticking and seeing it through. And then lastly but not least, we have Worthy with the ladybug. Read through one of the cards. I don't know if I did say it's got the matte gold, zoom out a little bit, matte gold edge in there, which is very nice. The shuffle actually really nice. They're nice in the hand because of the size, because I've got like little stubby fingers, so I do struggle, even with a standard tarot deck, I do struggle to get me hand gripped around it. Okay, so we've got clarity. Let me just find it. So clarity. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and will you will call it fate. And that's a quote by Carl Jung. It can be difficult to make decisions without having complete awareness of a situation. If there are any circumstances that you are currently struggling with, consider whether you are fully informed of the situation. Now may be the perfect time to undertake further research, ask questions, or simply give thoughtful consideration to a situation at hand. It may also be a good time to recognise elements surrounding the matter that you are choosing to avoid or not acknowledge at all. Perhaps the facts are hurtful or difficult to bear, but facing the truth of a situation will ultimately enable you to find peace and closure. It's time to open your heart and mind to the truth as it exists before you. So in the light, in the upright, it's got transparent, lucid, luminous, and unambiguous. So in the shadow, it says clouded, muddled, indirect, and uncertain. So that would be if it was reversed. So my sacred words is like a mantra or a quote for you to say for yourself is, I enter the world eyes wide open, awake to every truth as it finds me. So the chakra association is the third eye, and the raison d'etre, I'm probably saying that wrong. The moon casts its light upon some objects while leaving others in shadow. It does not illuminate everything. It reminds you that all things will be apparent to you at all times. Is that it? So that's it. So the clarity card there is about you know, accepting the truth as well, finding the truth, accepting it, even if it's painful to accept. And, you know, sometimes we look at things and we intentionally see that what that was saying to me is that sometimes we look at things or we find things out, but we don't deal with it or we don't acknowledge it because it hurts our pride or ego in some way. So we choose to completely blank out that part of it. And usually, you know, when we think about dealing with other people, and when we're dealing, like, especially when we get to relationships or connections and stuff like that, we often overlook the negatives. We often overlook the red flags as they would be, in favour of seeing the person in the best light because we want to, because the alternative to that, say, would be us acknowledging that they're not the best person in the world and perhaps maybe we shouldn't be with them, or perhaps, you know, they are doing us dirty in some way, and it's us having to acknowledge that, and that can cause us pain. So we choose sometimes just to accept things. But I think this card here is all about learning to see the truth whether you like it or not. Get clarity on a situation. I mean, I feel like you already have the clarity on a situation. In situations like that, you're just choosing to block it out or not acknowledge or entertain it because it doesn't fit your narrative for that moment. So it's about learning to be clear, more so with yourself, I would say. So yeah, so that's My Soul Whispered Oracle Deck by Melissa Selvaggio and the artwork by Jess O'Connor. US Games. I got this on Amazon. I paid about £19 for it, but then they've given me a refund of about £4, so I've probably paid, yeah, about £13 odd-ish. So yeah, pick it up, have a look for it, see what it's out. I mean, it's out now because it's only just coming out on like the pre-order status, I think. So I think you probably get it cheaper if you wanted to get it just now. Nice little deck anyway, and I feel like it'd pair well with quite a few decks that I've got and ones that I've got coming as well in the future. I did expect it to be a bit bigger, and it's no real big deal breaker for me that it's not. I actually find it quite comfortable to shuffle, so there's that. So I'll leave that one there. Okay, thank you.